What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Left Wing Awards and Top 5, and we are going to do something a little bit different just because, as someone already mentioned in previous comments, the number 1 and number 2 spots are completely obvious unless you're living under a rock. So we are going to go ahead and start with those two because this number 1 player, he deserves his flowers. Everyone knows who it is. Yes, he is listed as a striker, but he's phenomenal. He truly is. His finishing, second to none. His dribbling, maybe second only to the number 2 guy on the list. But nonetheless, when you combine that with his speed, his shiftiness, he can score goals of any kind. Definitely the best left winger in UFL. One of the best strikers. We'll get to that later in the next video. But without further ado, the number 1 best left winger in UFL, Kylian Mbappe, the French international phenomenon who just this year in real life went to Real Madrid, and he's a killer without a doubt. Maybe he didn't get off to the best start at Real Madrid, coming from the lower French league, but he's one of the best players in the world. There's no doubt about that. He is going to be a beast in all football games for years to come, and it's no different in this year in UFL. Deserving of the number 1 spot and left wing for certain. He's got some stiff competition at striker. We'll see what happens there, and for years to come, Vini could surpass him. You never know. However, after this year, they're probably not going to be competing since they're obviously not both playing the same position. They're on the same team now. So, with that being said, as far as video games go, you have to go Mbappe. Obviously, in real life, I'm going Vini right now, no doubt. But this isn't real life. This is UFL, and Mbappe, his effectiveness in game, you have to give him the number 1 spot at left wing since he has it available to him right off the bat. That's the criteria, and he is your number 1 left winger in UFL, which leads us to another obvious, which is your number 2 player, the Brazilian international Real Madrid phenom, Vini Jr. Now, Vini Jr. is different from Mbappe in video games, both FC and what we're talking about, which is UFL, because his shooting's just not as good. Yes, his finishing is elite in UFL, but the shot power, long shots make it so those outside of the box, finesse shots, even though now they're sort of nerfed for everybody, but nonetheless, he's pretty much restricted to beating players and getting inside the box and finishing, which he's incredible at. His dribbling is phenomenal, so he's definitely built to do that, but it does make him a little more predictable. You're not going to get much danger out of him with longer shots or shots outside the box, even the kind of snapshots that you might take with the winger, although he still can score them with that high finishing. That low shot power and low long shots is definitely a shortcoming for Vini, and then for both Vini and Mbappe, they don't have the greatest passing. However, that pace, the dribbling and shooting, these are easily the 2 best left wings in the game, with Mbappe edging Vini on finishing, and that is your number 1 and number 2 left wings. But for the rest of the list, it gets interesting, and we're going to go to something a little bit different for the rest of the list. We are going to go back down to 2. I said 2 bench to beast type players, because both of these can end up being better than Vini and Mbappe. Well, Mbappe's close because he has that phenomenal finishing, but both can absolutely be better than Vini because you can boost both of these players up to have elite finishing while having elite dribbling, because they already start with very good dribbling and other attributes, so they aren't topped out like a Vini or an Mbappe, which is one of the cool things about UFL. You can take lower stat players, build them up, and also add your own skill sets. So, without further ado, what 2 bench to beast players am I talking about? Well, you see one right there, Zakagny, an absolute bench to beast gem on the left wing. He starts off already with elite level dribbling. Yes, lower pace, lower shooting, lower passing. Everything else is lower, but look at that 91 dribbling. So as you're boosting him, that dribbling is going to go through the roof while you catch up the pace, the shooting, and the passing. He also already has curling shot on the medium effect. You can get that to high effect. He already has high effect crossing. He is a beast. When you have him on the ball and he's slower, he gets caught up to by the defenders, no problem, because he's so shifty. He is still burning players as we speak at 84 rated. Still plenty of time to be boosted up, and he's already cutting defenders in and out, getting to that inline, getting those passes across for cutback goals. He is already phenomenal, and he just started. I'm telling you, get Zaccagni on your bench if you don't have him, but absolutely deserving of this, because once he catches up, particularly in the pace area, with that already elite dribbling that's going to continue to boost up, he is going to be unstoppable. Good luck getting the ball off his feet. Now, this next player is someone I literally stumbled across. He is a Villarreal beast in real life and an absolute gem for bench to beast in UFL. We are talking about Baina. Now, Alex Baina is someone that, unless you are a Villarreal fan, you're probably not going to know who he is. He starts with the 82 overall, but look at these stats. He easily can be boosted into being just as good, if not better, than both Vini Jr. and Mbappe. And he doesn't have his elite of dribbling to start off with as Zaccagni, and I would definitely go Zaccagni over Baina on the left wing area. But all around, when you look at how high that dribbling and the passing can go once you catch up this pace, and then the long shots are already there. So he's going to be one of those Sun type players. He already has high effect on dribbling, first touch, and one touch shots, which are huge right now, especially for a winger. Ball coming across the box, one-time shots, brilliant stuff. So he's all about being a passing winger, crossing winger, but also a cut-in, long shot type of winger. Not quite like a Vini or Zaccagni, who's going to beat players and get in line, but as far as getting passes in to attackers, to strikers, as well as getting those long shots, he can be a monster. So you already heard me mention him, and I have to give him his flowers. We actually have two more players that need to get their flowers on the left wing, because they're both beasts. Not quite your Mbappe's or Vini's, but those are two of the best players in the whole entire game. These players are still good in their own rights and serve different purposes, especially this next player who I already mentioned. We are talking about Son. Heung-min Son. I'm sure I botched the name, but we all know who I'm talking about, the Tottenham monster of a winger slash striker. So as I said when talking about Baina, he does not have that elite pace, but he doesn't need it. He has good enough pace and good enough dribbling. You see he starts off with medium effect. While it's not elite dribbling, right, his frame or his dribbling stats don't quite equal like beating defenders, but he just needs to get inside enough to get a shot off, because his shooting is what makes him truly elite. The second best finishing in all of the game, in my opinion. He's one of the few players you could still take finesse shots with and still have a good chance at scoring, and just any type of shooting he is good at. He's got the 5-star weak foot, so either foot, it's the same. Bangers all the time with Heung-min Son, the best finisher on the wing for sure, and the only reason he's this low on the list is because you got the likes of Mbappe and a dribbling god in Vini Jr. Now, this last player is unique in the sense that his frame doesn't match his ridiculously good touch on the ball and dribbling, but what holds him this low in UFL as opposed to, say, FC is because he just simply isn't the best finisher, isn't the best passer. His pace is good, but not the best pace. He just isn't elite at anything, at least over here in UFL. He's still great on the ball. He's still a great player and can be a menace in UFL, but there are definitely other options, especially for the price tag. You simply have a phenomenal player that just is beaten out by other phenomenal players in each of the main areas. It's simple as that, and we're talking about Rafael Leao. You see there what I'm talking about. Good pace, not great pace. Good shooting, not great. Same with passing. His dribbling, elite. But guess what? You already have Mbappe and Vini Jr., so that's just it. For his price tag, you're most likely going to wait out and get one of those few players that you want. Even for shooting, you're going to wait and get most likely a Son. So He's still a beast, just not better than the others on the left wing. Still deserving of being on the list, without a doubt. Rafael Leao is going to be on that top left winger list of any kind in real life and video games for years to come. With that being said, that concludes our top list and awards for left wingers. Now we move on to strikers as our very last. It's been a long road, all the positions covered. There are some absolute beasts in UFL, and who knows, we might have to do another one of these when legends come, if and when they come. But until then, keep grinding, keep having fun, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.